A perfect stab punches through his heart. He's watched this exact blade kill him 17 times now. Because every time he dies, the day starts over, and only he remembers. The same morning, the same bug crawling into his boot, the same death waiting at the end of it. He's no prodigy. A 12-year-old who trained 6 months once beat him into the dirt after he'd given over a decade to the sword. But he has one impossible, stubborn dream: to become a knight. The kind of hero who can end a war by himself. And now, trapped in a single repeating day, he's found the only path his lack of talent left him. He will die against the wall he cannot cross, feel death fully, and refuse to give up. Again, and again, and again, learning a little more with every death, until the day he's finally strong enough to live through it. This is the story of the weakest squad commander in the army, and the brutal, beautiful way he claws his way toward knighthood. So let's begin. What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Apex Manhwa, your home for handcrafted manhwa recaps. If you're enjoying these, do me a quick favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe so you never miss a recap, and tell me what you think down in the comments. I read every single one. All right, let's get into it. It begins, as it always does, with a perfect stab. A blade slides clean through him, and the world goes dark. He has seen that exact blade tip 17 times now. 17 deaths, all ending the same way. If I train a little harder, he thinks as he dies, maybe I wouldn't end here. A voice in the dark answers, "Do you really think so?" Then he wakes. Same tent, same morning, his squad calling him to get up. The day has reset again, and only he remembers. This, he realizes, watching a bug crawl into a comrade's boot, is the 18th time I've seen that exact corpse. The same day, looping with no way out. To understand how he got here, you have to go back. As a boy in a small village, he learned the sword from a retired wandering merchant. "You're already this good," the old man told him. "You could become a knight." And in that moment, a dream took root. A knight, he imagined. The kind of hero who could carve through an army alone and turn the tide of a war by himself. The knight of the end, the one who finishes wars. He truly believed he was the hero in the wandering minstrel song. So he left his village to chase it. But the world was crueler than the song. A coward scared of a stray dog. The mercenaries mocked. Dreams of being a knight? You're not even fit to be a free blade. Still, he told himself, it's too early to give up after one failure. If I'm not gifted, then time and effort will carry me the rest of the way. And for a while, it seemed true. He grew stronger, tougher, earned the respect of the men around him. I can do this, he thought. I can become a knight. Then that hope shattered. In a village he was passing through, a child challenged him to a duel. The boy was 12 and had held a sword for 6 months. The man who'd trained for over a decade, until his palms were ruined, lost. Badly. Was all of it for nothing? He wondered, hollowed out, is there really, truly no way for someone like me? And then, from somewhere deep down, the answer: I want to become a knight. So he ate less, slept less than any man around him, and he swung his sword, and swung it, and swung it, refusing, with everything he had, to quit. Even if I never become a knight, he told himself, I can at least become a real, seasoned soldier. And on that stubborn promise, he kept moving. 3 years later, in the Cyprus Division, he'd clawed his way to one title, squad commander of a so-called second-rate squad. The best a man with no talent could manage. Which brings us back to the loop. Each morning he resets. He goes to his comrade Rem and asks to learn the same skill again. The heart of the beast. He died in the battle against the Aspen forces, woke up, and has relived that day ever since, carrying every lesson forward into the next loop. But no matter how many times he repeats it, he still cannot follow the one blade that finds his throat. He cannot even see the stab that kills him. This is the 21st time on this same battlefield. By now, he has the whole massacre memorized, every spear, every arrow, every man's death, in order. Dodge the spear at my back, then the strike from a man behind him. He moves through the chaos like a dancer who's rehearsed it 100 times, because he has. He even knows the instant his own squadmate Vel will fall, and is powerless to change it. He can only press toward his real goal. That goal is one man. The enemy who has buried a blade in his neck and killed him 20 times running. The wall he cannot cross. You close your eyes when death comes. Rem had warned him. Do that on a battlefield and you die instantly. You have to stop fearing it. Become like a beast, Rem said. A creature that knows nothing of death. That is the heart of the beast. Am I afraid to die? He asked himself, blade raised against his killer. No, death, here, only makes me stronger. And on the 21st try, eyes wide open for the very first time, he dodges the stab that has killed him 20 times. A voice tempts him in the dark. Give up. Get on the boat. Accept how weak you are and finally be at peace. That day, he snarls back, will never come. You piece of garbage. He saw the killing blade with his own 2 eyes, and he moved. 1 step. That's all he's earned. But it's forward. And on the 22nd day, the weakest squad commander in the army rises to challenge it all again. By the 33rd loop, something has changed. For the first time, he can see the killing blade clearly as it comes. Seeing it, though, isn't enough. The man is simply too fast, and the stab still finds him before he can answer it. Dying over and over leave a lot of time to think, and his mind drifts back. In his mercenary days, he once took a job clearing monsters from a poor little village. He didn't have to help them. He did it because protecting the weak, he believed, is the duty of a knight. The dream again, always the dream. The village could barely pay him. All they offered was a small charm, with a strange promise. It will grant the thing you most desperately pray for. And now he wonders, is this little trinket what's trapping me in this day, over and over, just so I can finally become a knight? Whatever the cause, the day always ends the same way, with one man's blade in him, a grinning sadist who kills, simply because he enjoys the stabbing. So each reset, he starts the same way. He goes to his squad mate Rem and demands, again, teach me the heart of the beast. Rem is baffled. Your nerves gotten thick overnight, he says. That shouldn't be possible. He has no idea he's taught this lesson a dozen times already. But fearlessness alone won't save him. Even with the heart of the beast, he knows, I'll just die again if I can't land a single clean strike. And his only real weapon is the Valen mercenary sword technique, an odd, scrappy style that other swordsmen sneer at as a petty street trick. So he tries something desperate. He imitates the sadist's own stab, the move that's killed him more than 10 times. His body, it turns out, remembers it perfectly. That one, Rem says, surprised, was the best strike you've shown me. But your hand should have drawn blood. You're holding back. Your problem, Rem tells him, is doubt. You doubt yourself too much. You think, what if this is blocked? What do I do next? Commit, Rem says. Swing like you're certain it can't be dodged, like the enemy is already a dead man. Then you'll never lose your grip on the blade. And he understands. The difference between his stab and the killer's was never skill. It was conviction. He never truly believed in his own sword. From now on, he decides, I stab with the full intent to kill. No hositashchen, no mercy. And so he drills it, loop after loop, advancing maybe a quarter of a step each time. The sadist's mocking words, here's some mercy, echoing through every death. The 11th day, the 12th, the counter climbs and climbs as he repeats the same brutal afternoon for one single technique. And finally, on the 124th day of the same battle, something clicks into place. Rem stares at him, unnerved. Your hands are torn open, blood pouring out, he says. Why are you grinning like a madman? Because after 124 deaths, he has finally done it. He has mastered the killing stab of the very man who keeps murdering him. To be continued. This time, he comes at the sadist with pure murderous intent, the killing stab he stole through 100 deaths. His first attempt fails, but he doesn't flinch. He won't blink. He won't let go of his sword. Everything they've traded, every clash, has led to this single thrust. And it lands. As the sadist falls, the man who's died here over 100 times leans in and gives back his favorite words. This, he says, is mercy. Tomorrow, you're going to die. He smiles coldly. The dead have no tomorrow. The wall that killed him 100 times is finally gone. But the day still resets. On the 125th loop, he changes his approach. He starts to prepare. Hey, Big Eyes, he tells a comrade, Get me shin armor, a shield, and a dagger. I'll pay you back later. His squad has never seen the commander like this. He's not usually this intense. They whisper, unsettled. They have no way of knowing he's lived this exact morning more than 100 times. The truth is, every death is real agony, and a darker thought keeps surfacing. What if I never win, even after thousands, tens of thousands of deaths? I'm already stronger than I've ever been, he thinks. Couldn't I just be content with that? Couldn't I find a way to simply escape and survive? No. For me, that was never an option. I have to surpass this wall, and I will not abandon this blessing, this curse, whatever it is that lets me try again. So he keeps moving forward. A man with no real talent. He survives this battle on 3 things: preparation, luck, and a cool, clear head. He's learned the battlefield through pain. On the 46th day, a spiked mace shattered his shoulder. On the 47th, he dodged it, only to be crushed by someone else. On the 71st day, a low soldier took his foot off. On the 89th, a thrown axe split his skull open before he could even reach his target. So now he knows exactly who to kill and when. The axe thrower who keeps interrupting him dies early, this time by his own thrown blade. And he's mapped the deadliest threat of all, a sharpshooter behind the lines they call the Claw of the Hawk. Every variable memorized. With the field cleared exactly as planned, it's time, at last, to face the wall himself. The man is strong, almost a prodigy. But he's green, he startles easily, and against him the Valen technique's endless variations are perfect. And after dying to it 100 times, he now knows everything there is to know about that killing stab. Every angle, every tell. So he ends it. This, he breathes, is mercy. He has finally broken through the wall, on his own terms, with his own blade. But surviving one wall only reveals the next. As the dust clears, a new and far more dangerous presence turns its eyes on the weakest squad commander in the army. To be continued. The new presence is an enemy officer, and he's stunned. I invested everything in raising that man, he says of the dead sadist. And someone like you killed him? He's no ordinary soldier. He belongs to a warrior race, frog-blooded fighters born for nothing but battle, and his killing intent dwarfs anything Encrid has faced. But before the blow lands, Rem steps in. If you want our squad commander's head, he growls, you'll need my permission first. Squad commander? The frog warrior scoffs, eyeing Encrid. That weakling is the commander, not you. He can't believe it. To take this strange weakling down for certain, the warrior realizes he'd have to risk his own life. Why is someone like him, he wonders, wasting himself on a battlefield this small? He weighs it and decides the weakling isn't worth dying for. Not in a trivial skirmish like this. And he sounds a retreat. But he leaves Encrid with a curse. You survive one day, he says, but that's all. You'll never withstand the walls that keep rising in your path. Your fate, he sneers, is to despair and give up. Fate? Encrid answers. For me, walls exist only to be climbed over. The warrior smiles and vows to return, to savor the moment those greedy, ambitious eyes finally lose their light. Then he's gone. Encrid wakes in the infirmary tent, having slept 2 full days. His skull rattled, his body broken, but alive. Rem saved you from that frog, a voice tells him. He barely remembers. Was that thing really a frog at the end? He mutters. Honestly, it's a miracle I survived. And then it truly hits him. This is a new day. A real tomorrow, beyond the endless today. For the first time in over 100 deaths, he made it out alive. His squad starts trickling in. First cries, the squad's money-minded schemer. Do you know what I spent to get you this bed? He complains. Pay me back triple. You weren't anywhere to be seen during the battle. Were you? Encrid notes dryly. As always. Cries, it seems, is no warrior, but he came anyway. Then Jackson, gruff and quiet, presses an ointment into his hand. Apply it twice a day, he says. Don't ask where I got it. It's Jackson's own prize salve, the one he never shares. They start taking shifts at his bedside, these men who usually do nothing but as they please. He's bewildered. Are they, he wonders, actually worried about me? Even Ragnar stops by. There's no way that rascal cares, Encrid tells himself, not quite believing it. Something in the weakest squad is quietly shifting. He notices the other patients too, including a nameless low-ranking soldier who just stares blankly into space and wonders how a man like that ended up here. Even an old rival recovers nearby, a platoon commander from another company who used to pick fights with him. Now just another broken body sharing the same tent. And elsewhere, his small victory is drawing notice he never wanted. A question travels up the chain of command. Who, exactly, is the commander of the 44th Squad? To be continued. His visitor is a fairy, slender and sharp-eyed, and she is the new commander of the entire 4th Company. He straightens up. I'm Encrid, he says, commander of the 4th Squad. I've heard, she replies, that you lead your difficult men well. I look forward to your contributions. When she asks, the schemer cries his name. He panics and blurts out a fake one, Krang. The whole exchange leaves Encrid faintly uneasy, though he can't say why. With the pain finally fading, he drags himself to the training yard. The lowest-ranking soldier in the company, acting tough, the others mutter. They have no idea what he survived. He's not just training. He's replaying the battle in his head, hunting for weaknesses. What if that final stab had failed? He asks himself. Then I'd simply have died. So he can't stake everything on one perfect move. He drills his grip, rehearses backup after backup, building a fighter who survives even when the plan breaks. Why do you push so hard? Someone asks. So I don't get killed, he says. And after that, what is it you're trying to become? He answers honestly, the dream people always laugh at. A knight. The dream his lowly talent should have killed long ago, and the one he has never, ever stopped chasing. For once, no one laughs. If you really become a knight, his comrade says quietly, remember my name, friend. It's a first, that small flicker of belief. That night is calm. Good night, Encrid, someone says. He sleeps early, for once a soldier with nothing to fear. A whole day of doing absolutely nothing. And then he wakes, and his blood runs cold. It's the same morning again. The same rations, the same minstrel song. The loop has him once more. While I was sleeping, he realizes in horror, did I die without even noticing? This death was more hopeless than any blade, because he never saw it coming. But 100 deaths have made him a detective of his own murders. This wasn't the battlefield, he reasons. This was a hidden assassin, and the assassin is almost certainly among us. Someone who knows the medical tent, who can hide their presence completely, someone trained to kill silently. A fairy's light, nimble feet, he thinks, are perfect for it. And that visit from the new company commander, was she really just greeting me or scouting where I sleep? There's only one entrance to the tent. So this loop, he doesn't sleep. He lies still in the dark, baiting the trap, waiting for the killer to come to him. A poison needle. He never even sees the hand that throws it. A potent numbing toxin floods his body, and he understands at last how he keeps dying without a sound. He can't move. He can't speak. He can only watch as death walks calmly into the tent. He catches a glimpse, and his heart stops. The assassin, hidden in plain sight among his own. And then a second shape moves in the dark. There's more than one of them. 2 killers working together inside his own camp. And the one giving the orders, the one behind it all, is the fairy. The company commander herself. To be continued. The same morning, 3 times running now. He stays alert through the night, and still can't sense the killers coming. This won't be easy, he admits. And even if I stop the assassins, he thinks the fairy company commander is waiting right behind them. 2 walls, stacked one atop the other. He feels the old helplessness creeping back, the same despair he felt before the battlefield wall. But he beat that wall, and the lesson holds. As long as I don't give up, he tells himself, I will always, eventually, find a way. Watching the killer's patterns, he realizes the truth. They aren't only after him. They're hunting a specific, secretive comrade hiding among the squad. Just who is he? Were you really? Encrid asks the man directly. That, the soldier says quietly, is not something I can tell you. And he leaves it there. There's something off about him, an aura almost like a knight's. Yet he froze before the assassin, just like everyone else. Whatever he's hiding, it isn't strength. So Encrid tries warning the others. Assassins are going to storm this tent soon, he says flatly. Cooperate if you want to live. They look at him like he's lost his mind. He tries everything. Reporting it up the chain to beg for reinforcements, with no proof, earns him only threats. Get lost, an officer snarls, before I shut you up for good. He even tries to scream the instant before the killers strike, to wake the camp. But they're simply too fast. The needle finds him every time. The 20th morning. 20 deaths in a row, and he's accomplished nothing against an enemy he cannot even see. And yet, he reframes it the way only he can. I've only died 20 times, he thinks. Cheap by standards. There's still room to learn. First problem first. Before anything else, I have to find a way to avoid that poison needle. Everything else comes after. And then he remembers something. His gruff squadmate Jackson has a nickname, the perverted wildcat. Because Jackson never fights an enemy head-on. He stalks, he strikes from nowhere, and he vanishes, a master of the ambush, the exact craft the assassins are using on him. Jackson could probably crush these killers in his sleep. But Encrid can't simply borrow him, and even if he could, that would be cheating. This is a wall he decides that I have to climb myself. So he does the only thing he knows how to do. I will just become Jackson. He'll learn to think like an assassin, so he can finally see one coming. He goes straight to the man. If someone like you stabbed me in the back, he asks, what could I possibly do to stop it? Jackson studies him a long moment. Honestly, he says, no one has ever survived one of my ambushes. And that, for Encrid, is exactly where the next 100 deaths begin. To be continued. If someone like you stabbed me in the back, Encrid asks again, what would I need to stop it? Jackson's answer is strange. You'd need eyes, he says, on the back of your head. Then Jackson nods toward a wagon parked behind the tents. That one, he says calmly, is about to fall apart. A moment later, it does, collapsing in a heap. Are you a prophet? Encrid demands. No, Hagson. I heard the axle creaking. If you can truly hear the world around you, you can predict what it's about to do. Encrid is stunned. He never even heard the wagon approach. Jackson caught a sound that faint. You don't need to see, the wildcat tells him, to know what's there. And there it is, the shape of his second wall. Not a swordsman this time, but faceless death itself, a killer he can never see coming. The answer, Jackson teaches, is sound. Learn to listen, and your ears become a second pair of eyes that see in every direction at once. That was a surprisingly good lesson, Encrid notes. You usually can't even be bothered to answer me. I am lazy, Jackson admits with a shrug. But you, squad leader, you just never give up, do you? That, Jackson adds quietly, is how I once took a man's neck without ever seeing him, by hearing exactly where he'd be. To Encrid, it sounds less like a trick and more like a doorway. Sound is a wave, he explains. It rings out everywhere, no matter how quiet. In a chaos of 1,000 overlapping waves, you must learn to seize one single thread. So Encrid closes his eyes and listens. The patrol's steady footsteps, the crackle of torches. He starts to map the whole camp through his ears alone. He sorts the noise piece by piece. The flags, how many? 7, 10? 3 sets of feet close by, 2 far off, right to left. The familiar sounds and the unfamiliar ones. He hasn't taken a single step forward against the assassins. But his body remembers everything. The heart of the beast, the killing stab, every hard-won lesson stacked beneath this one. And still he fails. The 33rd loop. The 34th. He hears the whole world except the one sound he needs. Failure. 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 Then something settles in him. I don't need more experience to break this wall, he realizes. Not a miracle. Not some sudden flash of genius. He simply knows, now, exactly what he has to do. He just has to do it perfectly, one quiet thread of sound at a time. Someone slips up behind him, silent as a ghost. That startled me, they say. I snuck up on you. So how did you know I was there? His eyes have been closed the whole time, training his perception. You're really not a man who wastes a moment. Are you? They murmur, half in awe. And that's the turning point. Slowly, death by death, Encrid is becoming a man who can no longer be ambushed. The faceless death that murdered him over 30 times in the dark is about to learn that its prey has grown ears in the back of his head. To be continued. This loop, he hears it, the faint, deliberate footstep that means death. For the first time, the faceless killer is no longer faceless. He sizes the man up in an instant. This one's no master swordsman, not like the stabbing sadist. This one I can handle. He doesn't hesitate. If I don't strike first, I die, and he buries his blade in the assassin before the poison needle can fly. Then the ferry company commander appears, and his whole theory flips. He'd been certain she was with the killers, but she's not here to murder them. She's here to protect them. And it finally makes sense. Who would ever pay to assassinate a nobody like me? He realizes, or a small-time platoon commander. The killers were never after them at all. But knowing too much is its own death sentence. The fairy was an ally. Yes, but she cannot let any of this be seen. She's a professional. She leaves no witnesses. So Encrid, bleeding and outmatched, asks her a single strange favor. I don't want anyone to die today, he says. Not one person. That includes vengeance over there. He adds, the officer who's done nothing but sneer at him. He isn't dead yet. We have the antidote. He'll live if you let him. The fairy studies this strange, stubborn weakling for a long moment. Then, softly, she answers, as you wish. To erase every trace of the assassins, she sets the medical tent ablaze and lets the chaos swallow the evidence. The threat, this time, simply vanishes. If that squad leader hadn't slowed the killer down, her partner notes, you'd be dead. You change your mind because of him? Yeah, she admits. Isn't he interesting? You've rubbed off on me. Incy, she murmurs as she goes. Let's meet again someday, in our proper roles. Something tells her their paths are far from finished. And then, of course, the day resets one final time. But now he can sense almost anything, every footstep, every breath. Everything except that fairy. This loop he plays it perfectly, unhurt and alive. Later, vengeance finds him baffled. You pull me out of that fire? He asks. Me? Why would you? Because we're comrades. Encrid says simply. Do I need another reason than that? The officer just stares at him. After everything I've thrown at you, vengeance mutters, shaken, you selfless bastard. Another man, quietly, won over. Back at his own camp, a strange rumor has spread. They're whispering that the entire base is cursed. If only they knew how close to the truth that was. And his own squad? Brawling again, of course. Ragna swinging an axe, the barbarian roaring, the whole crazy fourth squad tearing the place apart. Don't go near them. Soldiers warn, they'll wreck you too. I don't know about this base being cursed. Encrid sighs, watching the madness. But these bastards? They might as well be mine. Knock it off, you rascals, he barks, wading in. Squad leader? When you get here, one blinks. Wait, you're not dead yet? I figured you died. No, Encrid says flatly. I didn't. To be continued. 4 days pass since he returned to his squad, and for once, no one is trying to kill him. So he does the only thing he knows how to do with peace. He trains. You've only just started, a comrade notes, but your ears are already sharp. He's been practicing every waking hour. Keep it up, the man says. It'll save your life one day. Battles grow scarce as winter creeps in. Where other soldiers see boredom, Encrid sees a gift, free time, and he pours every hour of it into getting stronger. The squad's giant takes him under one massive arm. A trained body is a weapon all its own. Brother, he rumbles. You should be able to shrug off a frog's kick. You're still far too thin. His squad is as ever chaos. Ragna dodging, cooking duty, the men bickering and shoving. Enough, Encrid sighs, breaking it up. Pointless violence solves nothing. One of them is restless, picking fights out of sheer battle hunger. Don't take it out on the others, Encrid tells him. Come with me instead. Let's duel. And in that duel, you can see everything he's bled for. The heart of the beast, keeping him cold. His hearing reading every blow before it lands. And then the move he forged in hundreds of deaths, the killing stab, flashing out clean and certain. That same stab, his opponent yawns, already bores me. You've improved so much lately, I expected more. Got anything new? I don't need new. Encrid answers, eyes burning. I'm different than I was. I can repeat one thing 1,000 times until it's perfect. Come at me again. This time I'll break you. His skill is still lacking, the other thinks, watching him. And yet those eyes. I never get tired of looking at those eyes. Then the rains come and won't stop, washing out duel after duel. How many times a soldier groans, do I have to cancel because of this weather? The strange rumor has only grown. They say the whole encampment is cursed, the freak weather, the casualties, the fire in the medical tent. If only they knew. And there's Encrid, standing in the doorway in the pouring rain. Training in this downpour? Someone asks. Because of the downpour, he answers. 1,000 raindrops to pick apart, one by one. Even gruff Jackson hovers nearby now, quietly offering tips. Since when do you care about our squad leader? The others tease. The strangest squad in the army is slowly becoming a family. Meanwhile, the officers have a problem. With winter near, they need a scouting party sent out, and they're short on bodies. Who fills the gap? Someone suggests that useless squad leader of the 44th. Isn't he a bit dim? Another scoffs. What if he just drags the scouts down? He could bring unexpected results. The ferry commander says quietly. And your reason for thinking so? They ask. She only smiles. Call it a fairy's instinct. And so word reaches the weakest squad commander in the army. Me? He says. I'm being sent out with the scouts? To be continued. Being sent out with the scouts. The order lands like a stone. Did you do something to anger the company commander? A comrade asks. Why else would she pick you of all people? Did you do something to anger her? A comrade presses. What could I possibly have done? Encrid mutters. There's no clean answer for why the commander singled out a nobody like him. His ridiculous squad takes it hard. Father, one wails dramatically to the sky. Why do you test your poor servants? Please don't take our precious little squad leader from us. They even offer to go in his place. Anyone but Ragna, someone adds quickly. Behind the jokes, the leftover squad genuinely doesn't want to lose the man who finally made them a team. Jackson gives him a parting lesson. They're sending you into the tall grass, he says. Listen to how the grass moves. Noticing the disturbance, that's the first step to surviving an ambush. And Encrid reflects on his odd little career. Too unskilled to stick anywhere, he was shuffled from post to post, always filling in. The one place he proved useful was leading a squad of leftovers. But he doesn't resent it. I know exactly where I stand, he thinks. I just need to keep getting better. And the front lines mean new things to sharpen his senses against. The scout squad's leader greets him with a sneer. With the same rank, he says, but out here I'm in charge. You're from that outcast squad. Try not to get in the way. If we meet the enemy, the man bellows, we smash their skulls in. His scouts cheer. Encrid winces. Does he even understand what scouting is? This mission is going to be a disaster. It nearly is. They burn a whole day chasing tracks the leader swears are monsters, only to find a harmless gazelle. A wasted patrol and tempers fraying. But one scout, Henri, a former mountain hunter, takes a liking to him and teaches him the basics of tracking. Small, practical knowledge Encrid files away like everything else. They burn an entire day chasing phantoms, and the scout leader's recklessness sets Encrid's teeth on edge. Does this man even understand what scouting is meant to be? At last they reach their target, a vast sea of grass the maps call green pearl, taller than a man and stretching to the horizon. We'll cross it, the leader declares greedily, hunt down the enemy scouts, and drag them back as prisoners for the reward. Weren't we, a scout mutters, only meant to recon up to here? Encrid notices what the others miss. There are almost no animal droppings here, he thinks. No creatures in a field this rich with food. Something has scared them all away. Everyone get down. He shouts an instant too late. The grass erupts. The enemy, a full hostile force, lying in wait in the green pearl. And the scout squad has walked straight into its jaws. To be continued. Jackson est listening technique. But in the roar of a full ambush, 100 sounds at once, helpful isn't the same as enough. Ambush. Run. The scouts scatter. Encrid tries to flee down a different path, and the enemy is already there, cutting him off. He dies. But he only smiles. It's fine, he thinks as the world resets. I can always find another way. I have the repeating todays on my side. So he maps the trap through death. 20 crossbowmen riddle him with bolts from the east. He goes north and runs straight into a wall of spearmen. Every exit sealed, and he notices something chilling. Their uniforms are dyed grass green, prepared for this ambush in advance. The Aspen forces aren't just patrolling. They're hiding something in this field. He could simply give up the mission and maybe slip away alone. But that's not him. I won't run from this wall, he decides. There's just one problem. The scout leader won't take a word of advice from the outcast. Are you disobeying orders? The man snarls, every loop, dragging them all to their deaths. So Encrid reframes the whole situation. Disobedience can't happen, he reasons, which means I have to be the one giving the orders. And I'll use every man's strength to get us all out alive. The leader, Andrew Gardner, has a bodyguard, the most skilled fighter in the squad, who never leaves his side. A common soldier with a bodyguard. Andrew is clearly highborn. You talk too much, Encrid tells the sneering leader. Come at me. I won't even need my sword. The bodyguard is genuinely skilled, far above Encrid on paper. But he's looking down on a nobody, and contempt breeds carelessness. One blow. Encrid drops the squad's best fighter in a single move. The scouts stare, slack-jawed. Isn't he, one whispers, supposed to be from the bottom of the barrel? From now on, Encrid says quietly, this squad answers to me. Anyone have a problem with that? No one does. Then he does something no commander does mid-ambush. He asks each man his dream. Henri wants to marry a beauty who runs a flower shop. Another, to open his own business. A third, just to go home. And Andrew, the noble. My dream, my mission, he says, is to revive House Gardner. To honor my mother's last wish. Your answers are all the same, Encrid tells them. To make any of them come true, there's one thing you have to do first. Let's make it out of here alive. And for the first time, the scattered, doomed scout squad has a reason to follow the weakest commander in the army. To be continued. Now Encrid fights with 100 deaths of foreknowledge. He uses the enemy's confusion, draws Andrew forward knowing the bodyguard will follow, and turns their own ambush against them. Strike by strike, the enemy force of 12 is whittled down to 8. The men who mocked him an hour ago now move exactly where he tells them. He even weaponizes luck. A wild beast roams the field, and the enemy keeps chasing it, distracted at the perfect moment, never noticing his counter-ambush until it's too late. It's never clean. Loop after loop, 6 of them survive at most. Even with endless tries, he simply cannot save every man. But he refuses to stop trying. Keep going, he says. He knows this field by heart now. Go straight, and 30 crossbowmen annihilate us, he says. Turn right here. And the spearmen that hound us every loop, we kill them fast before they can pin us down. Andrew is pushing himself past his limit. They have to escape while the sun's still up, before the dark swallows the only way out. Then Encrid does the unthinkable. He leads them deeper in. That's further inside. Andrew protests. I know, Encrid says. This is the right direction. No arguments. Follow me. I won't follow you to my death, Andrew warns him. But he glances back, and the retreat path is already swarming with enemy. Too late to turn around. So, grudgingly he follows. And watching Encrid lead, something breaks open in the young noble. I was sure he'd be useless trash, Andrew thinks, like my father, who gave up and drank away our house's fortune. But he's the opposite. He's the man my mother begged me to become. Earn people's trust, led by simply standing there. Rebuild what was lost. Captain Encrid, Andrew says, and means it. A squad follows its captain. Until you give the signal, we move on your word. Encrid lays out the escape he's pieced together across dozens of deaths. Step 1. Seize the initiative and ambush our way out of the encirclement. Step 2. The critical secret he found only by dying again and again. At this exact time, in this exact spot, they can simply let an enemy patrol walk right past them, unseen. Everything unfolds precisely to plan. The enemy thinned, the patrol slipped, the squad still breathing. Now, the final step. The sun sets. And at last he understands why every escape failed. They've been moving toward the one place no one could survive. The enemy's own camp. The Aspen soldiers are slaughtering everyone in this field to bury a secret, and Encrid has led his men straight to its heart. But he's smiling. So, he murmurs, what happens to an army when something far more important than catching us suddenly appears? A gap will open, a way out that exists only in this single, perfect moment. Let's go, he says, and the weakest squad commander walks his men toward the lion's mouth. To be continued. His plan is insane. He's going to set the enemy's own camp on fire while they're standing in the middle of it. You're out of your mind, the scouts hiss. The moon hides behind the clouds, and the darkened camp becomes a maze. With no way to navigate it, the squad has no one to trust but him, and he moves through it like he owns it, slipping past tents, anticipating every patrol. How does he know what's happening before it happens? Andrew wonders, unnerved. Strangest of all, they don't encounter a single enemy soldier deep inside a hostile camp. How is that even possible? Because Encrid has been here dozens of times. He knows their secret. There's a flag at the camp's heart, and guarding it is the Aspen Army's entire reason for slaughtering this field. He learned it the hard way. In an earlier loop, the moment he laid a hand on that flag, the whole base turned its full attention on him alone. So that becomes the key. Burn the flag, and every soldier in the camp will abandon their post to save it. And while they do, we escape. The takeover, the infiltration, all of it was building to this single moment of perfect chaos. He splits them in two. One group plays bait, drawing the enemy's eyes. The other slips out through the gap. I'll go with the bait, he says. This, he thinks, watching his squad move as one, is the best today I've ever had. More people alive beside me than ever before. I feel good about this. I think I can really do this. I'll succeed, he tells himself, and finally walk into tomorrow. Andrew puts the tents to the torch, Max scatters the guards, and the whole camp erupts in a screaming, firelit panic. And then, something appears that has never appeared in any loop. An enemy he has never once seen. A warrior so silent, Encrid doesn't even hear him coming. Where he thinks, ice in his veins, did someone this strong come from? This man is on another level entirely. He answers with the most perfect stab he can summon, the technique forged over 100 deaths. It isn't enough. I can't beat him, Encrid realizes. Not at my level. Not even close. He fought through the ambush in the fields, through countless deaths to reach this very spot. He thought he'd finally conquered everything this today could throw at him. But were you, he thinks, staring at the silent killer, the real wall of today, all along? If he challenges this man, he dies. And then it starts over, retake the squad, cross the fields, die, and die, and die again through countless meaningless todays just to return here. The warrior says, watching his face. Laughing? I am. Encrid grins, blood on his teeth. Because I'm going to beat you. I'll cut you to pieces and feed you to the dogs. And I will overcome this wall too. To be continued. He throws everything at the silent warrior, and the man simply parries it. Effortless. Like swatting a fly. He counters from impossible angles, swinging up from positions that shouldn't allow it, fast and precise, leaving Encrid no opening at all. The movements are so fast and precise that Encrid never finds a single opening to answer. Every attack he commits to is already read and turned aside. At one point, the warrior bats aside his blade with the back of his bare hand. The skill gap isn't a wall. It's a mountain. But Encrid's fire has done its work. Fed by spilled oil, the flames race toward the sacred flag, and the whole camp begins to scream. The warrior's commander barks at him, the flag, save the flag. He hesitates, then lowers his sword. I'll see you again, he tells Encrid, and melts back into the chaos. He's letting me go. Encrid thinks, stunned. If even a monster like that isn't today's final wall, then I still have so far left to climb. They run. One man vanishes in the dark, leaving only 5. And the Aspen soldiers, flags saved, turn to hunt the intruders down. The flags saved, the Aspen soldiers turn their fury on the fleeing intruders. Get them, an officer roars. Don't let a single one escape. Then Henri earns his place. I know a safe route, the hunter says. A trail through the field fox and snake dens, where no sane soldier will follow. Guide us, Encrid says. I trust you. And then, the sweetest sound of all, silence. No more boots pounding behind them. For the first time all night, the pursuit has lost their trail. And it works because all of them work. Andrew and Mac break the pursuit. Henri loses them on the hunter's path. It took every single man in the squad to survive this night. And then the sun rises. A real sunrise. Another today has finally, truly ended. And a new day shines down on men who, this time, live to see it. On the enemy's side, there is only disbelief. The soldiers in that field were the Grey Dog, an elite independent company, beaten and burned by a handful of nobodies. They take their name from the Grey Dog of Aspen, a beast famed for never, ever letting go of its prey once it has the scent. A fitting name, as Encrid is about to learn. He got lucky, the silent warrior says coldly. That won't happen twice. It eats at him that he met that wall and failed to cross it. I wanted to keep fighting him, the warrior admits. And one day, soon, I'm going to kill that man with my own 2 hands. The weakest commander has made a very dangerous enemy. To be continued. Back at base, his squad waits, bored. He's gotten better lately. One shrugs, but he's still small fry. Wouldn't shock me if he came back in a body bag. The ferry company commander returns to greet him, half amused. You sense the ambush by chance, infiltrated their base, and somehow pulled it off, she says. Lucky. Privately, she's stunned. I'd half hoped he'd accomplish something out there, she thinks. I never dreamed it would be anything this big. No one can quite read what she's planning. Andrew, the proud young noble, bows his head. I'm sorry for how I acted at the start, he says. I'm alive because of you. Will I see you again, Captain? If our paths cross, Encrid answers simply. And a soldier who once sneered at him walks away changed, carrying his mother's dream forward with new belief. But Encrid isn't celebrating. He brought 4 men home, yes, and he lost 2. Was that really my best? He asks himself, the weight settling on him. If I were just a little stronger, he thinks, I could have saved them too. The deaths he can't undo are the ones that drive him hardest. With these repeating todays, he resolves, I can keep looking past my own limits. And one day I'll be done merely surviving and start truly chasing my real goal, to become a knight. Watching his own squad spar, he notices something new in their faces, a fierce, animal seriousness he's never once seen aimed at him. So he sets a new priority. One day, he vows, I'll be strong enough that they wear those faces, those serious, respecting faces for me too. The battalion is mobilizing toward the grass field, and still, wounds barely closed, he goes back to train. He'll die at this rate, the others mutter. But he just keeps swinging. And here the story shows us his mirror, a gifted swordsman who got strong with ease, who had every chance to become a knight, and felt nothing. There was nothing I wanted to do as a knight, this man thinks, so I found no meaning in it. I lost my purpose and just stopped. Talent without a dream, frozen in place. He watches Encrid and frowns. He learned his fundamentals all wrong, full of shortcuts. By every rule, this man should not be able to grow stronger. So why does he push his body this hard? Why do he do all this? He finally asks. To become stronger, Encrid says. And then? To become a knight. A knight, the man scoffs, is just someone good at fighting. Does that really mean so much to you? The knight I want to be, Encrid answers, is someone who decides for himself what is right and raises his sword for honor. Not for strength, for something worth being strong for. And the gifted swordsman, who has everything but a reason, is quietly shaken. Strength is only a tool. He realizes, what do I even want? I won't know until I walk the path myself. So he makes Encrid an offer that could change everything. Squad leader, he says, do you want to learn the sword properly from the beginning? And there, part 1 leaves him at the foot of his next great wall. To be continued.